facing failure, I look at it and say there's always something that is trying to teach you a lesson. It's trying to make you a better person. Even if it's not business, anything that happens in your life, don't look at the failure as a bad thing or it's someone else's fault. Look at it as this is happening for me to make me a better person, to expand. And sometimes you might not see the lesson, but there is no way to cry about it or beat yourself down about it. Just say, okay, this might happen again. How will I attack the situation? Or how will I show up the next time something like this happens? And there are difficult people that we deal with all the time, but I don't see them as being difficult anymore. That reframing that you taught me, Colleen, which was incredible. I love that. The reframing is that, how do I help this person? Because really, when someone's being difficult, they're just looking for a solution. They love help, right? They're looking for empathy. There's ways that we can figure out how to talk to everyone's different, and everyone listens and understands things differently.
Welcome to the Success Blueprint Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship and success. Join us in uncovering the stories behind the triumphs, challenges, and invaluable lessons learned by today's most inspiring entrepreneurs. From real estate moguls to tech innovators, we explore the secrets to their success and share actionable insights to help you on your own journey. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited for you to be joining us today. We have the absolute pleasure of getting to chat with Zuzana Misik today. Now, Zuzana and I have known each other, I want to say, for almost about a year, actually. We got to meet each other through one of Zuzana's good friends. She had me on the podcast, and Zuzana was the co-host. And I got to say, after getting to know you and having our relationship be blossoming, you are one of the most interesting people that I get to speak with on a daily basis. It's such a fun atmosphere that you have brought into your life. There's so many interesting aspects of who you are that I just love hearing about, all of your stories, your experiences, everything that you're up to. So for our audience today, I think that this is going to be a really great time for you guys to get to listen to everything that Zuzana has to say. So with that, Zuzana, I would love for you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background, what excites you about being in real estate, and really at the core, who you are.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. And I'm really excited to be here and speak with you. Yes, we have been working together for about a year, and I owe it to you for taking me out of my shell and for teaching me, how to be a better human, how to be a better real estate agent, and altogether just have a beautiful environment around me. So thank you so much.
It was all you. I can't take the responsibility for it because honestly, you're an amazing human being before we even started to chat. But it was all you. You did all the work.
Well, we did it. So with your help and with my implementation, which you guided me to become a better real estate agent and implement, because I didn't have the structure and the goals. So thanks to you for that, for opening my eyes and clarifying it for me. So I think it's a nice team effort. So thanks for that. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you. So I want to ask, because we've got all different types of listeners that are going to be hearing you speak today, what types of insights do you think that you're going to be telling our audience today?
So I'd like to discuss about what it takes to be in the competitive industry of real estate, how you can differentiate yourself, ethics and the values that I have and provide for my clients, distinguish me from a big group of real estate agents. I think there's like 80,000 real estate agents on Treb. So you definitely want to stand out. It's not an easy business, and there's certain things that we must do in order to feed our business, for it to grow, for it to flourish, and also provide value to our clients.
And you work really hard. Like, you are, from everything that we have discovered together, you're a really, really hard worker. And I know that everybody has their own definition of success and what it means to them. And after getting to know you, I really appreciate your personal definition of success. So what I want to know, what is your personal definition of success? And both professionally and personally, because it is all intertwined. And how has that definition changed over time from when you were younger versus to when you've established yourself and you are truly successful?
Thank you. Yes, it does intertwine. And I believe that success, like you said, success means all kinds of things to different people. For
Mhm.
me, what it really means is who I become in the process. Am I the person that I say I am? Am I providing value to my clients? Am I doing things ethically and for the right reasons? Do I do things for the right reasons even when no one's looking? That's the type of person that I have become and I always wanted to become. It's still a work in progress. You're always growing and you're always expanding. I think success is expansion to really figure out who you are. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you bring those values into all aspects of your life. You bring it into your personal life, your relationships, client relationships, business. So it really just comes down to, and it's not in a selfish way, figuring out who you are,
Mhm.
how you want to impact the world.
Mhm.
And being an entrepreneur, my goal is really impact the world around me in a positive way. Because as we know it, the life can be hard and life is hard, but life is also beautiful. There, the yin and yang, the good and the bad always coexists. And how do we handle that? And what kind of impact are we doing? Are we going into the negative side of things or are we going into the positive side of things? I see the world with more positive eyes because
Mhm.
it does really, and I see that it impacts the way we are, impacts other people around us. I always want to be a role model for people around me, younger, older, and I also want to learn from the people that have experienced. That's why I like to surround myself with people that have experience, that have been through the things that I'm going through. And that way, keeping my mind open and learning is one of the biggest things for success. Going with an open mind, with a positive open mind, and really establish the values of who you are.
And when I was saying, and I love all of that because it was reminding me how much work you have done. Like when I say you're a hard worker and you do the things you need to do, I'm not just meaning, in real estate and becoming successful like you have. You do that holistically with everything that you do. I know how much effort and work you do and put into yourself to become the best version of yourself. So, what I'm really interested in is, do you have a key turning point or a defining moment in your journey towards success? And how did it shape your path for you to get to where you are?
So there is different levels as we grow.
Mm.
We grow and expand all the time. So there has been, I owe it to, I would say, who I surround myself with, mentors
Mhm.
and people that I model. I owe it to people that have shown me and taught me success. So that's one. The second thing is that I really love to look within because all the answers really lie within us. How can I be a better human? How can I perform better? And also having, again, open mind and absorbing what others are doing, modeling others, being surrounded with people that make me a better person, that are smarter than me, that are wiser than me, and always seeking out opportunities that add to my life, not take away from my life. And working hard is, I don't see it as work. I don't see it as working hard. I see it as expanding my soul. What else can I do to have a more enjoyable life? If I put in the extra hours at work, which doesn't really seem like extra hours because I really enjoy my being around my clients. I really enjoy guiding my clients. And I also learn from the people that I interact with. So I see it as a learning opportunity, not really working hard physically. Yes, I've worked physically hard. I've done physical jobs, and it is still a job. It's still a job.
Mhm.
I mean, going out and showing homes and educating yourself, attending events and all that, it takes work. But at the same time, I look at it as it's benefiting my lifestyle, it's benefiting my life, but I'm also providing value to others.
I know.
I'm
And you do.
working on myself by becoming a better person and learning. That way I can give the value to my clients and guide them and provide information to them. So
Okay.
I see it as a hard work. I see it as an expansion, not really hard work. It's an expansion of myself.
I love that. That's such a wonderful way to look at it. It's a really great reframe because when we think about what we are doing in life and you look at it like an expansion, it's so empowering. I remember it because you literally triggered like a core memory for me. I remember a little bit earlier on in my entrepreneurial journey with the coaching area. I remember there's a point in time where I realized like I love community. I love being a part of a group. I love, having people that I see on a daily basis. And when you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a real estate agent, whatever industry you might be in, as an entrepreneur, it can be abundantly lonely because you're, for the most part, you're doing it alone at the beginning, at the very least. And there's not often times where there's going to be people who are there daily basis checking in on you. And I remember I had this one like very key moment where I was hustling and I was doing some planning out because I'm a planner and I really need to see what things are going to look like in advance. I was planning stuff out and I looked at it all and I realized I'm in it alone. This is all on me. Like I am the make or break. It's going to be me who decides what I'm if I'm going to be successful. Like it's me. I'm the deciding factor. And it was like it was a very, like, we use the word sobering in so many different ways, but, like, God, was that a sobering moment where I was like, "Holy shit." It was both very empowering, but also absolutely terrifying at the same moment, and in that moment is where I thought, "Okay, I gotta do the work to know how I work to be able to get to that level of success." And that's what you've done so much work to get to where you are. You dove deep into the inner workings of your own mind. And this is why I said before when I was introducing you, you are one of the most interesting people to talk to because hearing even just what's happened to you that week and what you've experienced and what you've processed, I just love the way that you live your life. So, with that said, how do you celebrate your successes? Because we each set milestones. Like, I've got daily milestones, I've got weekly goals, I've got monthly goals and all of that stuff. How do you celebrate when you reach something? Whether it be a big goal or a small goal, how do you celebrate yourself? Because we know if we're not taking the time to celebrate those little wins or big wins, we tend to just move the marker higher and higher. And then we're never feeling really fulfilled with the goal that we're working towards. So often I hear clients tell me, well, I achieved the goal, but it didn't feel that great. So what do you do to celebrate to make sure that when you achieve, you feel amazing?
I love that question. Yeah, it's a great question. As as I get older and wiser and through experience, I celebrate with gratitude. I love gratitude, and everything I have in my life is because of gratitude, because I'm thankful and I'm grateful for everything that I have. Of
That's
course, always more, that's our society. But I believe that when we're grateful for what we have, we just get even more abundant. We feel more fulfilled. And to go through life being fulfilled, not with external objects or external situations, but really feel fulfilled by feeling how you feel
Mm,
what you've done. Talking internal dialogue is so important too, is that could I have done better? I reflect. Yes, I think reflection is great. And that's one of the things how I celebrate too, is I look at what I've done. Could I have done it better? But I'm not hard on myself in a negative way. I'm hard on myself where I want to expand more and I want to feel and be more fulfilled. So I look at what I've done. Could I have done it better? I reflect. I go through scenarios, how, I can achieve even feeling better and being more abundant.
mhm.
I always have a lot of gratitude in my life. I start my mornings with gratitude throughout the days, big milestones. I celebrate with being grateful for the situation. and for who I've become in that process.
I really love that because it honestly it leads into the next question seamlessly. But when you are grateful, I notice that it really changes your frame of mind and it puts you into a space where you are more open to solutions, more open to opportunity as well. Like you said, the gratefulness actually creates abundance. And I think that that is really, really unique because my next question was going to be about core values or different principles that have been instrumental in your success. So gratitude obviously is one of them because it breeds the abundance for you. But are there any other core values or any other principles that you believe have contributed to your success?
Yes, and that's
How do you
really,
apply them too? Sorry to interrupt. How do you apply them as well?
yes, I think it's really, really huge, and it's essential to know who you are, to know your values,
Mm-hmm.
and to operate from that state, operating from your ethical compass. We all have a compass where we do things or we don't do things because we feel that it's the right thing or it's not the right thing.
Yeah.
So having those values of integrity for my clients, being honest and transparent, I think it's so huge in business because people can smell it if you're fake. People can tell if you're doing something with a bad intention, or people can really tell if you're really doing it just for yourself. You know, it's not in real estate, it's not about the pay. Of course, yes, we all need to be compensated for our work. But at the same time, it's also the value and the integrity that goes into the relationships of my clients. So I operate from a state of honesty, doing what's best for my clients, providing them with evidence that will help them make the decision. Ultimately, they make the decision. I don't. But I'm the channel of, you know, between purchasing or selling the house and their decision. I provide all of the sites that gives them the power to make the decision. So operating from honesty and integrity is really the core of my business and of who I am.
I think that that's
I believe in being a really, really good person, but there's a fine line of being walked on.
we talked about boundaries, right? So absolutely.
Right, that's right.
And
Boundaries are very important, and you need to know, and you need to definitely address it. Even friends, clients, family members in all your life, boundaries are so important. And again, that comes into your values. What do you value? So if you value respect, then you have to give respect in order to get respect. And if you don't get respect, then, you know, just it's not for you. And you choose, you have a choice. You have a mind, you have a mouth, you have a choice to make decisions. They fit your values or they don't. So the bottom line is figuring out who you are, what really is that you value. And for me, I mean, I value deep, long-lasting relationships. I value honesty and integrity is the biggest thing for me. And that's the foundation of my business and who I am.
I love that. Now, I know you are structured, and I know some of your daily principles and habits that you do each day. And I think that they are just, it's a phenomenal makeup because so many entrepreneurs, so many real estate agents, they're looking for peak performance. They're looking to be in flow state. They're looking to be at their best every single day amidst challenges, amidst distractions. Because let's be honest, like you could take any day and you're going to face lots of hurdles. You're going to face tons of distractions. I mean, our phones, to name. How do you, how do you structure your day? What kind of habits are you doing? What type of strategies do you implement to ensure that you are maintaining your productivity, that you are maintaining your focus during these times that are challenging and also highly distracting?
Great question. I've been throughout my whole life, I've been very focused and very strategic about certain things. But you are the one that actually taught me how to be more structured in my business because I went into entrepreneurship knowing nothing. I mean, I didn't know anything. And it's a learning curve. And I was open-minded. So you open my mind into my business was fine before I met you, but it really escalated after we started working together. While we worked together is because you showed me how to structure my daily life, how to structure my business, and really just get the noise out, unplug from the noise. Also, with my meditations, I am a firm believer to have quiet moments every day. So in the mornings, I like to do my meditations. I like to work out and write my goals, go over and reflect a lot, and just really feel how I'm feeling that day. And not every day is great. I don't feel amazing every day, but I learn to accept it. Again, that's the pros and that's just life. That's just how life is. And let go of control and just be in the moment and really enjoy even the bad times. There's always something to learn, right? So being structured is really just having things in front of us, and again being focused on the things that I need to do. There's certain things I need to do every day in order to feel good. And it also comes down to nutrition, comes down to sleeping properly, not being around toxic people or toxic environment or substances like alcohol or going out at night or whatever. And I'm not saying those are bad things, but for me personally, those things just didn't fulfill me and it didn't add to my productivity. So I had to find out, do I operate okay on 4 or 5 hours or on 7 or 8 hours? It's a learning curve, right? And we have to always test ourselves, and just even feeling how I am around certain people and situations. Well, the structure comes into how I feel, and also having systems, right? Because I didn't have systems before. So systems are very, very important. And I never really liked systems. You're the one that got me into like systems.
I'm so proud of you, though.
I can do it, no problem. I could do everything on my own. The ego and the control, that's what it was. I was trying to control my life, but you know what? You can't. Once I let go and let be, and then just got help too. I was open to help because before I was so stubborn and just doing everything on my own. But like I said earlier, having the mentors, people I look up to, people that have been there, that know more, like yourself, you're so very structured and you have everything on point. And I admire that in you. So I'm like, you know what, that's something that I look up when I really want to incorporate that into my life, because that's what was lacking.
And you've done such a good job. Like
the next level in business.
You were #1 student. Like you do your homework. Like I loved it. And remember, because there was the consequence if you didn't, right? But you do your homework. And that's why you have, like, even before I came into your realm, you did what you needed to do. You've learned new tools, right? And that's why I always say it was you who did it. I just gave you some new tools. That's all. But you've done a wonderful job. And you made a really good point a couple of minutes ago, and you said that not every day can be a good day. We naturally ebb and flow. And as an entrepreneur or a real estate agent, you are susceptible far more to ebbs and flows because there's chaos amongst us. And I love how you see more good than you do bad. So with that in mind, how do you manage failures or setbacks? And listen, I love the word failure. Actually, a lot of people look at it like bad. I actually look at the word failure as highly empowering, because I fail. Like when I fail on a daily basis. That stuff. When I fail, it's that, okay, that strategy didn't work. How can I change the steps in that strategy to be successful next time? It's information. Failure is just information feedback. So how do you handle failure, setbacks? What do you do to get back on track?
I learned to love failure, learned from it, because I saw a pattern. If I didn't learn my lesson, the lesson would repeat. I was really slapped in the face with it. And, wake up. So I embrace failure. I embrace the moments where it's confusing and, it's not going my way. It's just good to give you an example. Something that opened my eyes is communication. Let's say I had a very difficult seller, and they would not even hear what I had to say. They were just, no, I'm right, and I know everything, and just don't tell me anything. So I'm like, okay, yes, they are a difficult person and a stubborn person, but at the same time, it's not that I was trying to persuade them into doing something that they don't want to do. But what my job and what I wanted to get better at was to guide my clients and see both sides of the story. So the failure was I lost the listing from that seller. I lost the listing. Yes, it hurt me, of course, because I put a ton of work into it.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money on marketing and advertising, the times, the conversations. I picked up their calls when I was on vacation, 12 o'clock at night, and I go to bed at 9. So I was like, oh my God, I'm, doing everything I could from my power to help them sell the house, to sell the house for top dollar. And after I lost the listing, I started to reflect and I started to look at what I could have done better. And from that particular circumstance was that my communication wasn't the way it was supposed to be. And English being my second language, I'm not making excuses, but words go a long way. So from the failure there, I looked at myself and I said to myself, okay, I need to work on my communication. How do I express myself and how do I express situations to my clients so they can see both sides of the story, or at least they can see my side of the story, which it's always good to have all kinds of information and then you can make an educated decision. So that failure taught me to become a better communicator, and I'm still working on it. And I want to get better. Having failure, facing failure, I look at it and say there's always something's trying to teach you a lesson. It's trying to make you a better person. It's trying to make you better in business or anything, even if it's not business, anything that happens in your life. Don't look at the failure as a bad thing or it's someone else's fault. Look at it as this is happening for me to make me a better person, to expand. And sometimes you might not see the lesson, but there is no way to cry about it or beat yourself down about it. Just say, okay, this might happen again. How will I attack the situation? Or how will I show up the next time something like this happens? And there are difficult people that we deal with all the time, but I don't see them as being difficult anymore. That reframing that you taught me, Colleen, which was incredible. I love that. The reframing is that, how do I help this person? Because really, when someone's being difficult, they're just looking for a solution. They don't help, right? They're looking for empathy. There's ways that we can figure out how to talk to everyone's different and everyone listens and understands things differently. So for me, the way I communicate with you, Colleen, doesn't mean necessarily that's the way I'm going to communicate with my clients, because every nationality, ethnicity, age group, completely different the way they process information. So that's a beautiful thing about being in the service industry and working with people. Human behavior is amazing. I love human behavior.
I know. It's so interesting. And having behavioral flexibility, I think that people really undervalue that very key tool, behavioral flexibility. You have to adapt and adopt. And that's where rapport comes in too, because when you have rapport with somebody, you suddenly have a trust factor with somebody too. And you know when you've got it. And that behavioral flexibility to adapt and adopt to the person that you're with, if that is like one of the only tools that people learn in the sales industry, it's like one of the most important tools to learn. So I think it's really cool that you know that. Okay, real estate is an ever-changing industry. I mean, you turn around and there is something new going on, and also trends are changing constantly too. And pockets of areas are either booming, they're not doing well. Like, it's just so evolving. So how do you stay on top of all of that? How do you navigate and adopt to the changes and the trends that are happening? Really, how does that help you stay ahead of the game and successful as an agent?
That's such a great question. And I believe that the open-mindedness is key, because generations change, times are changing so quickly, so fast. I mean, there's so much information. So being open-minded and really learning, again, our business and life is about learning and expanding. So it's seeking out new information, constantly reading, going to events, going to seminars, and following the market, seeing what the trends are doing with economy, politics, interest rates. So that is it's a whole bubble. It's a little bubble that I live in, but there's certain things that are essential for me to go with the times and to see what's working and not working. It's trial and error as well when it comes to marketing and advertising. And trying new things, stepping outside the box, because if you're following the herd and being like everyone else and following the trends, sometimes you just get washed in the trends and you don't even stand out. And again, it comes down to your values. What do you value? So for me, the long lasting relationships is number one for me in my business with friends, family, and my clients and my colleagues. So with the changing trends, I try to stay on point with my values. Again, it goes down to what I believe, and exploring, also having an open mind, exploring with like AI and advertising and globally advertising, making connections in different areas in different countries with agents. You also get a lot of ideas from different people, right?
Yeah.
You admire, that you follow, and not necessarily has to be in real estate. I follow people on Instagram and Facebook that are in entrepreneurs in different businesses, and you always get ideas. The creativity is there. And that's what I love about real estate, is that staying creative and not having that ego. I'm right, and this is the right way to do it. This is the way to, everything has to be done my way. That's, throw that out the window, because that doesn't work. So being open to other people's opinions and ways of doing things, because you always pick up something, and then you mold your all these different ideas and creativity from other people. You basically come up with your own creativity.
And inspiration is abundant when you expose yourself to different resources, because the way that somebody I have had the most random things of experience, or not experience, of inspiration come to me when looking at something that is completely unrelated to anything that I do. And I'll be like, huh, that's a good idea. How could I do that for my stuff? This is what I could do. That's a fantastic idea. And then boom. Many of my courses are inspired by external factors that I hadn't even ever considered until it went into my realm because of exposure. So exposure is so important. I think that's really key. And it's really interesting too, because I love that you mentioned AI. AI is the buzzword. And if you are listening to today's podcast and you don't know what ChatGPT or Perplexity or any of the abundant AI tools that are out there now are available to you, you must do your research. AI is such a wonderful tool. Yes, we know about the potential harms that it could cause, but you do your research, use it in the right way. It is an amazing tool. And it's a way to help you go above and beyond your competitors without that much extra effort. Like I was mentioning to you, a listing that I saw over the weekend. The agent who wrote the listing, and this is an agent who does very well, by the way. I read the listing and I was like, and it's not a cheap listing either. It was a $2 million listing. I was like, God, like, who wrote this? Like, it's terribly written. It was honestly terribly written. And I was like, they could have just used ChatGPT to fluff it up and make it sound so much better. Like when you are selling something, you're actually selling an experience. So if you're selling something like a home, you need to create a story. You need to create the full experience. And so many little things that you can do with ChatGPT or Perplexity to enhance, like not just the description of the showing, but maybe the way that you do your marketing materials, maybe the way that you are promoting it. There's so many different resources out there that can really help you stand out, because you mentioned standing out as well. That's a way that you can do it. So I love that you're so in tune with everything and on top of it. That's really awesome.
The world is changing so much, and you know what, to provide the best service for our clients, we always have to be learning, be open to learning and trying new things. Not everything works.
Yeah.
Not everything's going to be a success, but that's what trial and error is, and that's life. So again, you can't be mad about it, and just keep trying everything and anything. Yeah, and every house sells differently, right? And some markets are different. Some demographics are different. So again, doing your research and finding out what type of people are moving into the neighborhood and what they're looking for. You basically target what they want, and like you said, sell the story, the lifestyle to the people that are looking, for a home like that. Let's say a family. You're not going to sell a house to that knows, that a family is moving into this area. You're not going to market the property to a entrepreneur single,
Not going to be the right fit.
it's not going to be the right fit. So yeah, knowing what works and doing your homework and learning about the neighborhoods and kind of what people are looking for in that space, and you have to match the house to the individual, to the demographic.
Agreed. Now, you are a really good communicator, and I know you've done a lot of work to learn to become an even better communicator, very warm and welcoming, and I know that that's why people are attracted to work with you. Now, one of the things that I wanted to touch upon, you've kind of already alluded to, you've discussed it a little bit with your core values and your beliefs and how they are the backbone of your success and your business as a whole. When you're in real estate, you have to maintain a really high level of transparency and clarity in your interactions with your clients, and that helps with the effective communication. But for you, how do you do that with all of your interactions with clients throughout the entire process? How do you maintain and ensure that they've got the transparency with you, that they've got the clarity when you're explaining something or expressing something to them?
It's a great question. And like I said, everyone hears and see things differently. So what I like to do is being honest by providing all the information for my clients, extra information. I ask a lot of questions to qualify my clients to see what they're looking for, what they need, what they want, what their goals are. So we dive deep into their goals and their aspirations. And then what I do is to create a space where they trust me, is that I'm really, really transparent. We talk about everything, about pricing and the house, the quality of the house, the neighborhoods, when you can expect from, let's say, the schools and the environment and the areas. Everything, I always keep them up to date. They know that they're my priority. Even if I'm working with 10 people, 20 people a month, I always make my clients feel like they're the only client, because I give them a lot of attention. And not to the point where I bother them, but obviously we're in a process of buying or selling a home, so they know that they can come to me with anything, and I provide that space for them where they also can be open to me and tell me personal things, which they do. We build trust on everything is confidential, and they trust me because they know that I actually really care about their well-being, and I take their money like it was my own purchase. So I'm not there for the paycheck. I'm not there I really want them to have a great experience in the journey in the real estate, and know that I really care about who they are, because this is a lot of money they're spending. I want to get them the most money possible for their house. So I am very open about what I do, how I do things. I update them. I follow up a lot to let them know what I'm doing, get their feedback, which makes me a better agent. I ask, is anything else that you need? Is there something that you want to discuss? Is there something you want to tell me? I mean, we're married for that time, right?
I love that.
So everything, the transparency, and I provide a space where my clients feel comfortable that they can be transparent with me as well.
And you just actually, when you were saying all of that, you gave me an aha moment, because
What is it?
when somebody buys a house, it is one of their most intimate experiences. Like I talk about, my background as a financial strategist working with clients, people's very personal information, all their details. And oftentimes you also know the personal side of it, like not just their finances and what they can afford and all of that stuff, but the way that they function, the way that their family functions. You even get to know some of the nitty gritty about family issues too, right? So you are one of the most intimate relationships that somebody has when you are helping sell their house or when you're handling finances. And that is a big trust factor. So it's like you create an umbrella of protection, because here's one of the things that I know too. Whenever I have somebody that comes to me for their financial work, one of the first things that I say to them is everything that we discuss is absolutely confidential. I don't share it with anybody. You know, people, they go into relationships with lawyers and doctors and they expect that confidentiality because it's actually part of their code, right? But that's not necessarily something that somebody might expect from a real estate agent, which is oftentimes why there's many real estate agents who will tell you, my friends and family don't use me. Well, oftentimes it's because of that confidentiality factor. Maybe they're afraid that you're going to share their information. Maybe they're afraid that you're going to tell the wrong person about their details. So that's something that's really good to lead with is everything that we discuss, you are 100% committed to my confidentiality with you. I will not be discussing your situation with anybody. Nobody will even know that you are my client because you're creating that protective barrier around them. You're protecting them from buying the wrong home or selling their house at the wrong price. You're protecting their information, their very personal information, and you're also helping to referee their feelings. So in a lot of ways, you're protecting their feelings too, because you're being transparent with them. You're setting expectations. So you gave me the aha moment of protection. You're setting a protective barrier around them. So when they're your client, when they're specifically Zuzana's client, you're protecting them. I love that.
Yeah, I want the best for them, of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
Okay.
and people can feel that too, right? People can sense that. And when they sense it coming from me, it gives them the permission to open up, and it gives them the permission to trust me as well. So I tend to gain trust very, very quickly because I put myself in people's shoes. The reason why I became a real estate agent is because I had a horrible experience selling my house, and I wasn't even an agent yet. So I said, I never want people to feel that way. And I made a point of bringing my own genuine values into my business, and people can sense it. People can feel it. People can feel it if you're there just for the money, or if you're there because you really care and you really love what you do.
It's true. All right. So as we're coming to a close, what I want you to do is impart with us either 3 key takeaways that you want to share with our listeners, or a message of wisdom that you want our audience to carry with them from today's journey with you, speaking about success as both an entrepreneur in real estate, as well as somebody who has done so much personal work to get yourself to where you are now, being the best version of yourself for who you are today.
Well, I believe that everything stems from who we are. Our world is a reflection of our inner world. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. The best advice that I can give to someone in real estate and in other fields as an entrepreneur or anything that you do is really value who you are, because you're very, very valuable. We're all unique. And it's okay not to follow the crowd. It's okay to go on your own. And as you said, entrepreneurship and real estate can be a lonely journey. But at the same time, when you know who you are and you value yourself, you are never alone.
Mm-hmm.
And when you love your own company, you attract really good people around you. You attract good clients, friends, situations, abundance. So what I would say is look within, really get to know and fall in love with yourself, not in an egotistical way, but really truly value who you are. And the dialogue that we have, it's okay to have dialogue, and it's okay to even answer yourself in your head, because we need to learn who we are. Once we learn who we are, you will stand out. The creativity, the value, the pleasure of being in your life and navigating through life, you will feel so fulfilled that you won't need external validation from people or from buying things or having things in your life. You're going to feel so fulfilled when you really tap into who you are, and that's when you operate from that state. Your whole life will be, you operate from your ethical compass. And your ethical compass comes from knowing who you are. So I truly believe that meditation and not sitting there in silence, no, it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. You can once you start practicing, but you can go for walks. You can do nice things for yourself. Just disconnect, even just go and be with friends, or even just have lunch by yourself sometimes, or go for a walk with your warm coffee or something like that. Those are the things that we forget about. We want to be everything to everyone.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that as an entrepreneur, carve out a niche, and people of what you believe, people will follow that. So strongly believe in your values. That might take some time, but be patient, because it will come. The external stimuli is so big nowadays. There's so many things, people telling you to do all kinds of things, different opinions, different attitudes. You got to be this way to get this. No, you don't. You have to be the way you want to be. The way you're going to succeed in life is by being true to yourself. It might sound as a cliche, but it's not, because I experienced it, because I was on the other side, where I did external validation in order to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
I was empty and I wasn't happy. When I started to shift it and concentrate on myself in a loving way, everything just opened up. And yes, I have bad days, of course, but I do have bad days to the point where I'm mean to myself, or I'm, can't get out of that state. I snap out of that state very quickly. And that's, in entrepreneurship, that's actually a really big thing. You have to have that strength, that mind
Resource.
is to step out of the bad situation very quickly. And how to do that is with your internal dialogue. Again, it goes back to everything is internal.
Yeah. That's reframing.
You will never find it outside of yourself or from anyone else. You'll find the wisdom lies in us, inside us. And I speak from experience. I can tell, because I've had a life where I was dependent and attached to external validations and people. And then when I started to look within, and it's not easy. You've seen my struggles, my struggles, my traumas and what I went through. It's not easy, but that willingness and that trying, it's the action, right? So take action always, because if you do nothing, nothing happens. Start within and you'll see how your world will become magical. It's going to become really magical and really abundant. And you'll appreciate the bad times, like you said, the failures. You look at them and you actually appreciate it, because it makes you a stronger, better person.
Absolutely. The yin and the yang.
That's right. Yeah. They belong together. They belong together. You can't have just one.
They do. I can't tell you how much I appreciate chatting with you every time. Like, literally, I know you and we get lost in like 2-hour conversations, and I always abundantly appreciate it, because I love hearing about your experiences, your thoughts, and the things that you've tried. I love how involved you are with your own self-growth, the meditation, like all of the different modalities that you lean into to grow and become your ideal version of you. So thank you so much for sharing that with our audience today. I'm so appreciative. Last thing is, Zuzana, how can people follow you, connect with you, learn more about you through social media, through all of your different contact channels? Please share with us.
So I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all under my name, Zuzana Misik.
With us.
Yes, I can. And I know it's not your typical spelling. So it's Zuzanaisik at Zuzana Misik. And I want to say thank you, Colleen. I owe you so much, because you really are you play a big part in my journey. You've taught me a lot. You're my role model. I look up to you. You're very inspiring. I love our chats as well. Always learn so much as just having a casual conversation. So thank you so much for being in my life. I truly value who you are.
And I value you too. As Ted Lasso would say, appreciate ya.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, again, I'm so glad to have had you. I look forward to continue to seeing you grow and achieving new heights in both your personal life and your professional life with real estate. And I am so happy that our audience got to get to know you today. Thank you again.
Thank you, Colleen.
All right. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today.
Bye.